Welcome back to another shed night, guys. It's dark this time. Proper shed night. We need to build something so that we can have less dust whilst riding go-karts. So that's the plan for this evening. I'll show you some bits I bought and we'll get stuck into it. I should probably mention that something we're going to build is going to be a trailer that carries a water cart. It's the grand plan here. I just got to cut the dust levels down. It's a bit too much. So what we're going to do is build a trailer, just a very basic trailer, no springs, just really some wheels and a flat platform. So it carries one of those, I think you call them an ICV or a pallet container thingy. It's a big 1,000-litre plastic container with a cage around the outside. You fill with water. I'm going to make a sprinkler bar for the back of it. And then we'll just tow that around and we can wet the track. So that's the plan. That's where I'm going with this. To start this journey, we have steel. Very important part. I even had it cut to length, mainly because it's just a real, like 8-meter lengths. I've got to take them over there and I've got to cut them with a saw. It's a bit of, it's easier this way is what I'm getting at. And it's like very little amount of money to have it cut to length. So big thanks to AJ Steel for sorting that out for me. Much appreciated. I've had a little look at what I'm doing. I've got a wee issue that I'm going to have to overcome, which is annoying. I guessed what I would have. I have these stubs laying around. I've got lots of trailer parts laying around. I had these laying around and I ordered this box and I thought they'd go into it, and they don't. They go into this one, but it's got that issue. That's my axle. I think I'm just going to grind these down. It's not much. It's like 1 millimeter. So it's a pain, but I've got a grinder. So this is what I've got and this is what I've got to work with. Now, the exciting part. I figured this trailer is going to need some cool wheels, because why not? So I went and bought a set of freaking 20s. They're terrible. They are absolutely hideous wheels. And if you're running them on a car, they'd be no good. But if you're running on a trailer that you tow around as a water sprinkler for miniature, not miniature go-karts, they're real size go-karts. For off-road racing type go-karts that are not meant to be off-road, but are off-road. So therefore they are off-road go-karts now. This is the rim of choice, people. And they were $200 online. So, you know, and the guy delivered them. What a nice dude. I can't remember where he came from. But anyway, he's coming past my ways and offered to deliver them. So there they are. Now upstairs, on the mezzanine, up there, I know I have a trailer kit. I've got the stubs down here, so I must have dragged them out at some point. Can't remember why I have them. Probably because they were cheap at the time and I had a rough idea of making a trailer. I make a few trailers, so they must have been the right. I don't know why I've got it. I've got a lot of stuff and I don't know why I've got most of it, so that checks out. Anyways, I'll have to go ravaging through upstairs and find them at some point in this arrangement. But first of all, I'm pointing to something that's not even there. Golly, that's a close up on my nose. Yeah, I've got to make these fit. So I'm going to try grinding them first. And if that doesn't work, we're probably just going to stick them in the other box and make a fill-in piece. I don't know. That's what I've got. We're looking pretty good here. These are very hot. You grind them that much, they get rather warm. Look at that. Beautiful. So I think what I'm going to do, look at that, all that grinding dust. Put 2 holes in here, that way we can plug them and weld them around here. I'll hang them out just a little bit so we don't sort of upset the ceiling face and the bearing area. So somewhere around here we'll do a big heavy duty weld, a couple of plugs top and bottom. I'm just going to throw it in the drill press and drill it all the way through. So that is the fit I was looking for. It's it's loose but tight. I ground it, so it's not the most perfect arrangement, but it's pretty good. It'll do the trick, that's for sure, for a water cart. So let's go drill some holes in this bad boy with the drill press. We might be in trouble here. Something's dawned on me. I don't really have a plan here. I just ordered this steel on a whim the other day, and I'm making up as I go. That doesn't have a lot of overhang, and these wheels have a massive negative offset. Positive offset. I think I'm going to have to put together one of the assemblies and see how we're going to sit here. Let's try that. We have to go digging up there. I think I know where it is. We have to use a torch up here because there's a light here somewhere. Everyone's around. Anyway, there's a light up here somewhere and the bulb went in it. There it is. Yeah, it's looked like that for like 4 years. I've had no need to really fix it. I did some scrummaging and I found what we were looking for. a box of trailer bits that I bought forever ago. So we're going to take these hubs, I'm going to mount them on those spindles and stick them on a wheel and just, do they not have wheel nuts? They do. Oh, phew. See how they fit up, see what their backspace looks like, and see if that axle I've got is actually going to be long enough. This right here can be the issue with using what you've got just in storage, stock. The wrong ones. These must, I can never remember the difference between Ford and Holden. One's bigger, one's smaller, right? I think this is Ford and that's Holden. I'm pretty sure the Holden ones are bigger. Because these don't go on at all. They are no good. That sucks monumentally. So I've got two options here. None of which I can execute this evening. Get out of this bloody light. It's just getting me like the sun. That's a real bugger. Look at that. That's just totally incorrect. Won't even go on. So, what I can do, I suppose, I can either knock the bearing shells out of that and go get a set of Holden bearings or Ford bearings, whichever ones I have wrong. Or I just go buy a whole new set of hubs, but I've got the hubs. It's not hard to change out the bearing shells. That's really annoying. Oh, this will tell me what stud pattern it is, though. Look, anyway, these are our stud patterns. This one I do know off the top of my head. Bigger pattern will be Holden, smallest Ford. So, if it goes into the little one, which one's the little one, though? Geez, they're so bloody close. I think that's the little one there. Yeah, it feels very... Yeah, they're Ford pattern. So I must have bought accidentally for some... Well, I didn't buy these at the same time. I'm going to put my hand up and say that. I don't even know when I bought those or why I bought them. I don't know. The kit I bought didn't come with an axle, so I guess I must have seen these come up on special as well and gone, oh yeah, I'll grab them. That helps me out with my trailer kit. And I bought the wrong bloody ones. Anyways, that's this has gone well, hasn't it? I'm going to have to probably get some bearings. I think it's probably the easiest way to fix this problem. And that will get me back in the game. So that's not going to happen tonight. I did lay this out on the ground to try and check where we were going to be width-wise. So that's the general idea of that. I could weld that up, actually. Could just weld up the main frame, but that's such a small part of the job. This is probably the biggest issue right now. Just to make sure that this is wide enough so that the offset of this rim sticking inwards is not going to kill me. Alright. I guess in the next frame it'll be me back with bearings to fix this issue. Dun 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 dun! So that was meant to go dun, 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 and then it was going to be bearings. But I figured, why waste the time that I still have this evening? So I've mocked up the frame, measured my diagonals, made sure she's square, looking good, and I've added this center bar. When they cut all this steel for me, when you cut it to a length, you buy the length and they give you the off-cut piece. That worked very well, because now I'm going to have a center bar there where I was going to have before, which now that I think about it, it would have just been, it needs a center bar, is what I'm getting at. So that worked out well. Now, this is my drawbar. And he's going to come to about halfway, roughly. But probably a little bit further now. And this, I'm going to cut in half. He's a heavier piece, right? Because I'm about 20 mil too short each side. If I cut this bad boy in half, it's going to extend it by 50 mil in the center. And then I can simply just weld this back to the box piece, have it run through the center of it, and that way it'll give it back the center of strength, and I'll weld it to this other piece here as well, and there'll be more enough strength. We're going to weld it there and there. It's going to have no springs, so plenty of strength in the middle there, and then we just weld the stub pieces in that we ground up earlier. Just really had to remove that mill scale. It's still really hot though. There's a lot of grinding. It's just to clearance them so they fit really nicely inside my box here. So just tackle this up. I'm going to go cut this piece, we'll take the rest of it, get it all sitting there right, I'll take it over there to the, where am I? Take it over there to the hoist, and I can lift it up to the height that I want to be at, and I can weld it all out, and at least by the end of tonight, the main framework's done, and realistically we just have to mount some wheels, pack some wheel bearings, and get this show together. Oh, I've got to work out a hitch. I have a hitch. I'm still undecided on that. Do we just put like a ring feeder hook on it, or do I've got a regular hitch upstairs. Maybe I just put that on there and we can tow it with the car. That's probably the easiest, instead of towing it with the lawnmower, which was the other option. Anyways, it's enough procrastinating and pondering and all that hoo-ha. Let's get this sucker made up. I have our drawbar tacked in position. Now this is how it's going to look. That little piece of offcut there is literally just to stabilize that in while I tack it. This gives me 125mm of overhang on this side, and if I have 50mm of engagement on this stub, I'll have the 40mm between the wheel and the frame, which is heaps. The axle can't move because it's got no springs, so we're not worried about it, articulating and causing grief. So that's going to be just fine to run these big dogs with this massive positive offset. I don't know if they're staggered. I haven't even looked, to be honest. Anyways, let's not worry about that right now. We've got this magnificent thing in front of us. So I am going to drill these holes in here. Instead of having 2 holes, I'll only have 1 hole with a plug in it. It's going to be pretty good. I'll crank the amps up. We'll lay some big fat welds in there, and that'll secure it, and it'll all be welded everywhere else, so that'll be good. I have set the axle back. I was going to put it in the middle, but then realized 2 problems. Because we're not towing this on the highway, right? So it means we've got a little bit of liberty with a few things that don't really matter anymore. This is how you kind of would do it for the highway. You'd set the axle back a little bit so you have increased tow ball loading. I wasn't going to do that, but now that I've thought about it, we still need to do that because we do need tow ball loading. We're going to put 400 litres of water in this thing. So if it's trying to rip up on the tow ball all the time, that's going to be a real pain in the backside, especially 400 litres of water. That's going to, you'll notice that. Also, we're going to take this off the car at some stage. So we don't really, I thought the pivot point would make it easier because then it's like neutral balance, but potentially it's just going to shoot up in the air and kill you. So this will just give us a little bit of downforce in the front so we can work against the resistance of lifting it off. Theoretically, you'd empty the container and it won't actually be welded or bolted to it. We're just going to strap it down, and this becomes a multi-purpose trailer just for getting around the farm and doing farm stuff. Nonetheless, let's get back to this. That's the science. That's what I've got to offer you. This piece here, I'm just going to drill some holes in that. And his friend over here, we can weld them on, and I can weld out this frame, and that'll be it for the night. And I can move on to the axles and whatnot tomorrow, which I think is actually a better way of doing it. I'm not upset about this. I accidentally went too far and drilled into me, I don't know, whatever this little crossy piece here is. Whoopsies. Anyway, that is what it is. In case you don't know, with a drill press, preferably one with more power than my drill press has, you can bury a 1/2 bit clean through a piece of, what's that, 3mm steel. Drill presses are gnarly. They're very cool. Anyway, that's going to be our plug holes. I'll dress them up, head back over there and tack her on. This is what we got. I'm going to weld her out right now, and that's going to set us up really good when we get those other parts for the hubs. That's pretty cool. It should be pretty solid, I reckon. It's going to carry about 400 kilos. I think that's more than sufficient for that job. Anyway, let's weld this sucker out. That's her all welded out in super fast time lapse and stuff. Hyperlapse, actually, if you really want to get into it. That's going to be plenty strong enough. There is plenty of strength in this bad boy now. The thing is, those wheels weren't the wheels I intended on using when I came up with this idea. I came home from a trip when we realized it was going to be very dusty, bought all the steel based on the measurements of the container that sits on top of it, and I just went, well, I'll just find some trailer wheels and throw them on. Then I'm like, why on earth would I go and buy some boring ass trailer wheels? That just doesn't seem right. So then I just went hunting for Ford wheels because I knew I had Ford hubs. So yeah, I went hunting and then went, there's an abundance of terrible, messed up old 20-inch rims out there in the world. So terrible, messed up 20-inch rims is what we ended up with. I'm very happy about it. But anyway, the axles ended up a little bit shorter than what I liked. Nonetheless, that's okay. Let's go find some bearings and sort that issue out. Kind of nowish. And just like that, we're back with new parts. And I got rid of the old bearing shells, knocked them out of the hubs. I've got this one here all loaded up with the right Holden size bearings. No, hang on, what am I doing? Ford. God, this gets so confusing. Don't mind me, I've already had dinner. Ford. We went with Ford ones. They were Holden ones, these are Ford ones. These are Ford hubs. Ford as in the pattern on them. They had Holden bearings in them. And I bought the correct Ford stubs, thinking I had all the right gear. It was wrong. Needed Ford. Anyway, those are now correct. I've already greased those ones. I'll put this one together for mock-up, just dry run it. So there's no actual bearings or no seals in those bearings. So we're good to go. Our fitment is looking on point, I would say. We've got most of that stub axle buried in there. We had a plug weld it as well. So I'm just doing this, just going to mock this up, tack these in, get the welder ready to rip. So let's go ahead and get these stubs in. Then we're going to get this hitch sorted. That's on my list too, so we need to get that done soon. Wheel number one, stub axle number one. She's tacked. Get this bad boy tacked in. I'm going to weld these out. I still have to pack the other set of bearings. I've already done that set. So we'll go over that in a second. I still got to tackle this hitch. That is the trailer. Hubs welded on. We're just going to grease up these last two wheel bearings. Now, that is the wrong wheel bearings, isn't it? Or is that the right? No, that's the right ones. Oof, I hate to grease up the wrong ones. That'd really bite. I'm just going to show you this briefly. We're going to use the palm trick. These bearings don't need a lot of greasing. You can probably run them bare dry if you really wanted to. This trailer's never going to see a highway or a road or anything like that. But we should still do it right. It's one of those things, like, you could cut corners here. We're going to just put some grease into the edges of this bearing and call that good enough. But it's all about following good practices. The only thing I really haven't taken to heart with that is those stub axles. That is not recommended. I wouldn't run that down the highway. They will fatigue and eventually break. So we're just going to get some grease on my palm here and just hold your bearing like so. And we're just going to work the grease into the bearing. Just lick the edge of it. I haven't got anyone else to help me film here, so I can't show you this too well, but I'm going to lick this into here and I'll show you what happens. We're just going to keep on going in the same spot, using the edge, the gap in the bearing to catch to catch grease each time, and that way it'll build up inside the rollers of the bearing, and when we see it come out the top, that section is done. We can move on to the next section and just keep doing that all the way around the bearing. I'm starting to achieve it now. I don't know how well you can see that, if the camera's going to focus properly, but it's coming through the top of the bearing, and that's all I want to do. I'm going to do that all the way around this bearing and its other little friend. That'll be grease, bang with the hub, seals in, get these wheels on. I'm pretty keen to see this for the first time with wheels on it, so I'll get after this. Coming down to the wire this evening, I can tell you that much. Oh, had some interruptions, but anyway, we're getting there. Just going to put these on. Boom. We're there. I can't run the center caps. I'm a little bit annoyed. I took the dust caps off because, well, they wouldn't go on properly anyway. So I'm not going to run dust caps on the bearings, so I'm really not too worried about. I'm going to have to bore a center hole in the bloody center caps, which now I want to run the dust caps. Because I actually thought they'd fit without that being an issue, and I was wrong. So I actually threw the dust caps in the bin because they were utter frickin' rubbish. They just didn't work whatsoever. But with that being said, these 20s do look pretty sick on a trailer. It's a lot of work for a little screw gun. Look how janky this is too. This is a bit to go in the screw gun, but it's only to go to 1/4 inch. And I've used a half-inch adapter. No, sorry, 1/4 to 3/8 adapter. Anyway, it's working. I couldn't find the other one. That'll do, donkey. On that topic, we need to put a hitch on this bad boy because we're pretty much there. Center caps are... Anyway, is what it is. It's very annoying. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This center cap here. I have all of them, and it would look way cooler with them. I have to bore that center out so that the stub axle can stick through. It's late, all right? It's very late. I've had about enough for one evening, but I have to have this done because we're going away on the weekend. Anyway, I've made a plate for the hitch. Let's have a look at that real quick. Out of my way, chair. So, because this is only a 2mm box, I decided just to make up a 5mm plate. I was going to put it on the inside, but it's 50mm wide, and so is this. So I welded it to the top and drilled through it. Let's throw a hitch on that. Let's get hitched. That could be like a trailer TV show, maybe, or a caravan show. Anyways, one hitch. It is rated to, it's a 50mm ball, 2,000 kilos, 2 ton. Yeah, that's not what we need right now. I drill the holes in the right spot. Oh, look out. Apparently can mark out where holes go. Now, part of putting this plate where I was going to have this plate is on the inside, is I was going to weld these nuts to it. But that didn't work out for me in the end. It's a black tunnel, I can't see a darn thing. That's really annoying. Where are you? Where are you? I know you're there somewhere. So I'm going to try and get this to line up with that. I think I've done it. By golly's people, I think that actually worked. Okay. Nope. Nope, that just came flying back out at me. Oh, because that'll turn inside of there, because that's the wrong size. Yeah, that'll do it. That checks out. I think I got him. There you go, little fella. Welcome to your new home. Now, I don't know if I've left enough overhang for that. We can always cut this back when we get there if I need to. That I'm not bothered about, but I think I have to trim a little off the nose of this. Anyways, I kind of threw this together. I paid zero attention to whether it was actually functional. But anyway, that's okay. I also don't recommend the way I've done this plate on the front. If this was actually a trailer for road use, that would not fly at all. However, this is just for getting around the farm. It'll be sufficient without me having anything else. I really just made it with stuff I had lying around the workshop. Kind of what I do. Other than the wheels, everything else. I ordered a bit of steel, I suppose. But I ordered a fair bit of this size steel, so I just went in with another order. And here we are. Do this up, and we're gravy, baby. We are done. We're ready for the farm. No, we're not. I haven't put any hooks on it. Oh, I haven't put any hooks on it. We better put some hooks on it, eh? Otherwise we can't tie anything down to it. And it'll just slide off the back. I knew that. I was just seeing if you guys worked it out or not. Anyway, that's good. That's great. Anyway, let's make some hooks and weld them onto the corners so that it doesn't slide off. In case you were ever curious, yes, you can weld straight through paint. I don't recommend it. There's better ways to spend your spare time, but it can be done. And it just happened because I forgot those and it's 10 o'clock at night and I just wanted them on there. Now they're on there. Oh yeah, that's that. And that's done. Let's have a good look at this thing. Well, drink it in. The paint's still wet, but she's done. Look at that. That'll carry a water tank. With 20-inch rims. Damn straight. Got some tie-down hooks in. They were important and I forgot them. This rim is not so shiny. Still got plastic coat on it. Got to get it off. Don't care. It's a water cart. Anyways, that is that. Which means the next part of this will be at the Luke's compound. It's a short drive from here, about an hour and a half to Tyro. We'll rip up there with this bad boy. We'll take that go-kart and probably take 2 motorbikes because my pit bike is on the injured list. It needs wheel bearings really bad. Did the fronts a while ago, but had the wrong spacer, so they've kind of died. And the rear's the originals, and they are not good. It's scary. These new rear shock too, very bouncy. So anyways, I've got all the parts to make all that right. Not this time. We'll do that another day. And nonetheless, this thing's ready to rip. So let's load the truck and the trailer, and let's get to Tyro. Luke's compound, here we come. Well, here we go again. We're loaded. Different vehicle this time. I got some new tyres on the Navara this week, so we're going to take it. The Ram needs diff pretty badly, and as much as it seems to keep eating up the highway with no worries at all, I really don't think we need to push it any further than what we need to. Anyway, we've got, well, I was going to say less load. Then we got more load. I'm not sure. We're taking 2 bikes. We've got the water cart trailer, and down the back there we've got, so we're pretty much ready to rip. I'm really keen to see how this bad boy goes. That engine's got something done to it. It's got mega compression, so that's going to be fun. Yeah, water cart trailer, locked and loaded, ready to rip. Let's go put an hour and a half under the belt and be there. Alright, we've got the water cart loaded up behind us. Can't really see it, it's in the rear view mirror. I've got Nugget in the passenger seat, he's riding the shotgun. And Ace is leading me in with the go-kart, not the go-kart, what do you call that thing? Golf buggy. Anyways, so what we're going to do is Pete's going to drag the pellet around to smooth the track out because we're losing daylight here. It's been an afternoon of getting this thing rigged up. And then we're going to start spraying some water and see if we can't have a dust-free track that might even slide really nicely still. Pete's still grabbing the pellet. This is the start of the track. We've even got signs. Look, this is legit. Oh, Ace is going the wrong way in the golf buggy. This tree is the only thing I've got to look out for, but the water cart's no wider than the car, so as long as the car goes through, it goes through. It's going to do a dry run on the track to make sure we actually fit the bloody little, whatever this car is, what do you know? Ford Courier. Make sure the little Courier bloody makes it around the track. See the track over there. See, these are the signs. Jumps over to the left. Straight ahead is main go-kart track, but you can take the go-karts over the jump too. They don't get airborne, but it's still a bit of fun. This corner is my main concern, so let's see if we rip through here without any hassles. I'm thinking we will. I'm pretty confident that everything's wide enough here. Yeah, we're gravy, baby. The boys been ripping on the dirt bikes all afternoon, so it's already a bit torn up. Oh yeah, no worries. Get heaps of room. All right, do a dry run and we'll go grab the mower with the pellet to drag, and then we'll do this for realsies. All right, Pete's got our pellet. We drag around here. Letting it rip. This is pit lane. I'm going to pull into pit lane real quick. Let him do that, and we'll open the tap on the valve, and we're going to let this bad boy go. See what we got. This is the setup. So we strapped the container down. We got the water spray bar we rigged up. It's a piece of PVC. It's on the tap. It's got little grooves in here. We just had to zip tie it because we didn't take into consideration the stabilizing part. So much fun, this place. So that's it. That is our water cart, isn't it rad? Ah! No, we're on it. We had to go refill the water truck because we only put a little bit of water and see if it worked. And it did work, and the dust is better, but everyone's out ripping at the moment while that thing's filling up. It's 1,000 litres, takes a minute. And Pete's got a go-kart out. Yeah, baby. Go-karts are the most fun, eh? And this is the one we just got running. We haven't ridden this one yet, and it's pretty cool. Let her rip, Pete. It's the drift machine. Well, the surface is starting to get pretty good. You know, we're running out of daylight now, and the dust level's way lower. Like, you can now rip around, there's no dust. So that's pretty darn good, I reckon. Call that successful. See, no dust. Mint. Anyway, I'm gonna grab some of this firewood over here because we have a fire. It's that time of day. Get ourselves some more damn water because it came from a dam. Don't need to be rude about it. Anyway, Don't mind the tyre situation. Apparently these $200 for all 4 20s and tyres weren't that very good. I'm shocked. We're going to ignore that. Let's go spray the track. What do we got? It must be gallons, so 500. What's that say? 600. Maybe that's 700 litres. That'll do. Oh, and there's a marking there. What's that say? 700 litres. 700 litres it is. That'll have to do us. I don't really can be bothered putting any more in this today. Next weekend's our big weekend. This is just actually a trial weekend to make sure this whole idea worked. Yoink. Alright, let's go with the truck there. Like that, we're back here at the workshop again. Ta-da! Yeah, I was going to do some sort of transition of driving home, but I think we've all seen that before and it kind of gets old and boring. I drove home, we watched some stuff, I put it all back in the workshop, trailer's empty. That is it. That's our water cart. We've actually got a big event. Sound like it's professional. It's just us idiots up there. We've got a big thing we're going to do next weekend. We're going to have a couple extra go-karts coming in, and we're going to have like a big race day. Just for us, just for our own personal entertainment, shits and giggles and fun. So that's why I had to go up this weekend, get the water truck, make sure it was going to work, and get everything prepped. And everything's a success. We're all good. A couple of teething issues with go-karts. Got to buy a pull start for one. So I'm glad we did this weekend to go through and shake them all down and see whatever issues they're going to give us, instead of having those issues next weekend. That would have sucked. So anyways, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you got something out of this. If not, you now know that you can put 20s on a trailer for no good reason. So there's that. Anyways, see you on the next one, guys. Cheers.